Well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for letting me do this. I'd like to know, where did you grow up?
Sleeper, Missouri.
Sleeper, Missouri.
Yes. And would you like to know the circumstances, or do you want to just?
Yeah.
That's all you want to know.
I'd like to know a little bit about Sleeper.
I didn't really grow up in Sleeper. When I joke around with friends, or people that I meet or whatever, I always say I grew up in the Outback. Of course I know the Outback is actually Australia, but it was like that.
Wow.
So we had no, as a child I had no running water, no electricity, wood stove. In my mind's eye, I consider that big pile of wood that was always there in the fall, and the kitchen stove was also wood.
What were your parents like?
I was born to my parents. My father would have been 41, and my mother would have been 39 when I was born.
Wow.
So by the time I remember them, 10 onward, they're middle-aged.
Okay.
And I would not say they were the pat you on the head kind of people,
Okay.
but they were all right. They were fine, but they're good parents, but not what you would typically think of as a parent being certainly in this time frame, because kids can't even go down the street.
Yeah. Okay, what did your parents do for work?
Farm.
Farm?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, what did you raise?
We were a diversified farm. Rotate the crops. We didn't use a lot of fertilizer. We were also a dairy farm. We sold cream.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
7
Wow.
of us, and I would say in my early years, yes, we would have been close. And even after I came out here, I would take trips back. But they were all farmers. No one's here but me. They're all gone.
It's true.
We were father, mother, semi-grown up. That was true of my parents.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And maybe a little true of Walter and me until we fought it out.
Okay. Did you ever think about consider being an artist growing up, like as a career? Was that something that you?
No.
No. Okay.
Didn't happen at all like that.
Okay. What did you do for a career, and how did you like your career?
I was a teacher, and I liked it. My need to be an artist kind of got a little bit in the way, I think, in that, because we went to Spain. Only time I'd ever been overseas, and I brought. I should let that alone.
Oh, that's fine.
I brought back toothpicks because they had big, wide, flat ones. So I could do art in my first grade classroom. That's how bad it was.
That's great. So, how did you get started with art?
I did a lot of seeing a psychiatrist when I was young because I felt I needed that to help my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that was true or not, but so I wrote lots and lots and lots and lots of journals.
Mm.
And by the end of those journals, poetry just slid out of my mouth for 2 or 3 years. And I don't know if it's any good or not, but I probably got some of it laying in there in piles someplace. And I think that art is kind of like a muse, like you just sort of glide into it, you like it, or you don't like it, or it's the way it was for me.
Nice.
That's all I know.
What is it about art that you like so much?
Well, we could think about probably one of my first pieces of the Moon Lady over there is made on a rose bush. It was very hard to express. Pieces just come up in my head of all kinds of things.
Most difficult one?
None of them were difficult
Okay.
because they were just out of my head kind of thing.
Okay. And what place do you think art has in society?
And I think we might not be having so much discord in our society right now, which is really bad in my eye. If we had done a lot more about other things other than, I don't know, art or music. Everybody, I think, is artistic. Even if we might not think that working on an automobile, but if that's what you really are into, it's artistic. So I think if we developed a lot more of that in our society, it would be a healthier one.
Great. Have you ever had your art on display?
No.
No? Okay.
And nobody wants something made on a rose bush. So maybe you'll understand as you go by my pieces.
Okay. Do you still practice art?
Of course.
Okay.
I didn't do him, but I redid his clothing. I'm beginning to feel better now, so I'm starting to do a little.
Do you ever sell your work?
No.
No? Okay. Has your feeling towards art changed as you've gone through life?
Early on, I went to San Francisco for a couple of years because they have art classes that you can take that are free. And Ventura has the two colleges, and I took a little at those two colleges. So I guess I did some preparatory work, but that was not the fun part. The fun part is making that face in the corner with art. So,
what is something you wish someone had told you when you were young, and would you have listened, like a piece of advice?
it wouldn't have done any good. I was a very childish child. I was childish till I was, I don't know what age. I did finally, I think, reach some maturity. I hope that I have, but it was a long time getting there.
Okay. Yeah, right now, what would your advice be for life, for people?
I would hope that they could make a way where they would not have to wait until retirement to do some of these special things. I wish that we could make out work years where people could have more space. Mm-hmm. You and I were lucky mm-hmm. because we had more space, mm-hmm. but very few people have that.
Do you have any artists that you admire?
Chagall, I guess. I like the newer artists where they have lots more freedom of expression, I think.
Well, Josie, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing your beautiful art. Well, thank you.
You're such an audience for me. I never have audience. Nobody likes to look at my art, you know, it's when I go hot.
Oh, it's so lovely. Well, thank you.
Still a life reverie, winter exhausted, howling winds fan across dun-colored barn and weather-beaten man. Gray clouds hang lackluster above the land. Dreary heart, red rough hands, care-riveted woman doing her time, scrubbing the clothes, hanging them haphazardly along the line. A gleam of sunshine slides obliquely across the land, a ray of light for my heart. Two battered souls demand, silent screams, borne heedlessly away on the wind. Earth Song. Buried within a bounteous womb, universe beats forth a timeless tune. It's an ancient tone, sit down the human hearts of cards and join the happy throng. Have you heard the bird bursting forth its song, heeding the call to be fully bird, that's all. The trees are whooshing softly in the breeze, squirrels chattering joyously among the leaves. Comrades, will we answer the call? To be fully human, that's all, beating forth our cadenza and melodic song.